Hey, what's up, YouTube? Me, G. And I know I am super late on this, but I am finally about to sit down and watch the premiere episode of Preacher. Um, as for whether or not I will be doing reactions for the entire series, I'm not 100% sure yet. I am still so far behind on Banshee. And the series finale is coming up soon. So once I see this, I will try to start cranking out some Banshee videos, and so I'm actually pretty excited to see what this is about. I filmed a reaction for the last trailer, but apparently that was on the day that it premiered, so I didn't, or the day before it premiered, so I didn't even know it was about to come out that day or the day after. And I'm very excited about this. I'm a big Preacher fan. I have been waiting for this for a very long time. Ideally, I thought it would be on like Cinemax or Showtime or something because of the sex, the graphic nature. But if it's not going to be on pay cable, AMC is almost as good. So I mean, it's up there. AMC is like if you can't get like one of the more graphic networks to do it, AMC is definitely a good show for it to be on in terms of regular cable. It's probably the best that we would get out of it since it's on AMC. And with what we've seen with Walking Dead, they were actually pretty generous with how they've been treating comic properties. I believe the only complaint about Walking Dead that I've heard I've heard somebody say something bad about AMC with is that they actually extended the episodes. They extended the amount of episodes in a season because apparently Robert Kirkman actually wanted Walking Dead to be more like Fear the Walking Dead, which is like 6 or 8 episodes in a season, but AMC was like, no, we need like at least twice that. So, I believe that's probably the only bad thing I've heard about them with their comic properties. Other than that, they've been pretty good in terms of the content. Because even though things kind of go off track with the Walking Dead in terms of its comic counterpart, they're still very close. It's still the exact same style of how things are done. So in other words, they've been treating comic properties pretty well. Redundancy. But I'm a big time Garth Ennis fan. Love Preacher. I read it like 10 years ago when I was in college, and it was over 10 years ago actually. I'm looking to see how they treat everything. I don't believe that what is his name? The Allfather. I'm gonna say that I doubt that the Allfather is gonna be in this series. The people I would really like to see in this series though are Jesse's family, his grandma, Jody, and that backwoods hillbilly dude that can't keep his dick out of stuff. So it's so that's what I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to seeing Jesse's family. They would be that would be especially Jody. Jody was such a good character. I'm also, but actually my favorite character out of the entire series I think was Herr Starr. And you're gonna definitely meet him. I believe I saw in one of in the last trailer a quick scene of two fighting somebody in a car, and I believe that was Herr Starr. So I'm looking forward to that, and I would love to see his how they treat his fantasies or how they treat his perversions in this series. I imagine they're just going to cut away, but it was because they do that in the comic too. But Herr Starr says some awesome stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I really doubt that they're going to have an Allfather in this, because the Allfather is just an impossible guy to recreate. Like you just can't really recreate that guy. And it's funny because that's like a signature of Garth Ennis's almost, is like the massively obese person that is impossibly obese. So, and but yeah, that's pretty much my hopings for the series. The guy that they got to play Cassidy, Joseph Gilgun, I know from the TV show Misfits, and he played Rudy. And if you don't know Misfits, it's a British show. It was a British show that lasted 5 or 6 seasons. You've definitely seen at least one person from there, and that would be Ewan Rand, who plays. You guys know him as the Bastard. The Bastard of. Well, we call him that in the books. In the books, he's known as the Bastard. But those of you who watch the show, you will recognize him as Ramsay Snow. He was actually one of the main characters from, or one of the main actors from Misfits. He played Simon, who could turn invisible. And Misfits is a show about people who get all these weird powers. So Simon gets a power that he can turn invisible, but when until he learns to control it, it's only when no one's looking at him. And then once they stop looking at him, he becomes invisible. Then no one can pay it. No one sees him. No one can hear him. Anything. Now Rudy, on the other hand, Joseph Gilgun's character, he replaced my personal favorite character from the series, who was Nathan, who was not able to stay dead. Think Captain Jack Harkness. He was like that. Somebody would kill him and he'd come back to life. So Joseph Gilgun played this guy Rudy, who was replacing Nathan's character, who'd ruled the Vegas. And Rudy was this super annoying guy and just really vulgar. He was very annoying. Some people like him, some people didn't. But Rudy's power was that he could clone himself, but each clone was a different part of himself. So he had like a good Rudy and a bad Rudy. And so usually the Rudy that we saw was the bad Rudy. They almost never like merged back together. But anyway, yeah, so Joseph Gilgun, when they announced this guy, I was like, holy crap, that is Cassidy. He would make a perfect Cassidy. So I'm really excited about seeing him. Long story short, I'm super excited about seeing him in this role. The guy they got to play Jesse, I don't know who he is. And that's okay, because even when I was trying to figure out who, when I was thinking about fan casting like a long time ago, I couldn't think of anybody who would be a good Jesse. And so I'm coming in with this guy. I have no idea who he is. I have a blank slate, so I'm hoping he's gonna be a good Jesse. And Tulip is the girl they got for Tulip. I feel like I've seen her in a few things, but the only thing I can remember seeing her in is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where she played the mutated girl, the psychic girl who got was she psychic? I don't remember. She played some kind of, she like saw visions or something, and then she got hit with the Terrigenist. She mutated into some creature. But yeah, she was the girl who plays Tulip was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was in there. She was a recurring character for like 2 seasons. But anyway, yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to see how this goes. Preacher, time for the Preacher reaction, and that is going to start now. Holy crap! Oh my god, they're really going with the streaming game for Genesis? That's awesome! The screaming baby is Genesis! Is that Genesis? What the heck?
I'm the chosen.
Holy crap! What? Yeah, he wasn't the proper host. Oh my god, the upside down. They did not go with the upside down joint. Upside down crucifix.
When she left him for someone, she left behind. He cried like a baby.
That is totally Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis would write something like that. Nice. Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon are the executive producers. Awesome. Hopefully they'll have some say in how it goes.
Okay.
Don't laugh. People said before you came back here, before you were a preacher, you did things.
Yep. Shody. Oh, Seth Rogen and Evan. Seth and Evan.
Maybe I'll do
directed
some of
this.
those things to your daddy.
Yeah, Jesse's known as to be a pretty good scrapper.
I know. We'll figure something out.
Just,
A man's heart plans his way. The Lord directs his steps.
I was gonna say wait till the word of God comes in, but
Pray for me, preacher.
we'll see what happens when he gets hit with that.
I heard Donnie there. You might be laying hands on his wife. I figured you might want to talk to her.
Well, I'll listen to a formal complaint should the victim come forward.
Well, that's unlikely. In these kinds of situations, she's probably scared too.
I will listen to a formal complaint.
Yeah, that's backwards.
Of course. You don't want to lose the wife-beating, squirrel-murdering redneck boat. I imagine that's a key demographic for you.
You know, preacher, when I heard that you was coming back here to your daddy's, I must confess to a portion of unease on it.
That's new. Wait.
But you've been real quiet, haven't you?
Playing golf on a plane, really? Oh, hunters. Well, that's new.
Go to hell, abomination!
Oh yeah, holy water. Yeah, Cassie don't really think too much. Oh my god! That is awesome. Oh, the red shades! Yes!
No shame making yourself available.
I'm completely available. Not completely like a, but yeah, I'm available.
She wants that preacher junk. Makes sense. Jessie is a lady killer. Not really. Is this? No, that's not. No, they said her star after Jessie. No, that just might be him. He's got that right kind of face. He's got the hair star face. I think he wore wigs at one point too. Is that Tulip? This might have been the car scene I was talking about. Ooh, she was walking dead on him.
Yeah, so he was a really bad guy. Your parents are in?
The hair's definitely completely correct.
Bad guys are coming. Coming to
Is this a
kill you.
potato gun?
Well, what about your boyfriend or someone? Get him to come home. A girl doesn't always need some stupid guy helping her.
That's right.
Tulip would say that.
Stuff or selfish enough or freaking stupid enough to run away, you have the strength to track him down
Uh-oh.
and eat him alive.
Message. Dang. Tulip is definitely more badass on the show than she is in the comics.
Anyway, we're gonna get him to stop hurting you, Betsy.
Oh, I don't want that.
I know you're scared. You know, taking your life back, it can be scary sometimes.
No.
I'll be there, okay? I understand.
No, you don't understand what's going on with us.
With who?
With me and Donnie. I like it.
Wow. Super pervert.
You like what?
Totally Garth Ennis.
Just dinner.
Yeah, that's gotta be her star. Arseface lives in Anvil?
What's up, man? It's good to see you. Come in,
Oh my god, they put in the subtitles.
You're right.
Yeah, the outfit.
I know, little snitch, who told you to. Looks like I got another whooping to attend to.
Oh man.
Don't touch him.
Oh man, you done it now.
Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I don't listen. What then, huh?
You'd hear a noise.
Oh, ooh, golly gee. Oh, a noise.
High pitched, kind of bunny in a bear trap sound. You'll know it when it comes. Because you're the one who'll be making it.
That's some scary stuff right there.
Everybody watch. I'm gonna beat the living shit out of the preacher.
Bad karma. Yep, you missed that old laugh.
You ready for that noise now?
Preacher! Enough. Your little weirdo friend, too. What did I do?
Almost done, Sheriff.
God dang!
Jesus, what kind of a preacher are you?
Jesse Custer.
I'm Cassidy. Nice to meet you.
You know, I don't remember if we ever find out Cassidy's last name.
Officer.
I totally understand. That's why I'll walk with you. So apparently, I smell like sweat all the time. Is the latest.
Oh my
How
God,
she knows
this
that living
dude.
down in Sarasota, Florida, is beyond me. But that is not the point. She wants me to feel like I smell. I mean, why would my own mother make me feel?
Last time, Ted. Be brave. Tell her the truth. Open your heart.
Be brave. Tell her the truth. Open my heart. Do you hear that?
Oh shoot, word of God.
Be brave. Tell her the truth.
I have a feeling this dude's gonna literally open up his heart. He's gonna literally open his heart.
Open your heart. Be brave. Tell her the truth. Open your heart. Be brave.
Word of God in action.
I have to open my heart to you.
Yep. 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 Word of God in action. That's, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Word of God. Oh my God, how did they find somebody that looks just like her star? Repentance is coming. All right, so that was the series premiere of Preacher. Now, I'd heard that they were going to go in a completely different... I shouldn't say completely. They were going to go in a different route from the comic. So there were a lot of surprises. Let's see. There were a lot of things that weren't in the comics here. Such as none of them lived in Anvil except for Jesse. Jesse was the only one who actually lived in Anvil. And when he gets inhabited by Genesis, which is the entity that entered him, the church like explodes, and he is the sole survivor. So like almost pretty much none of this stuff happened. And the town was full of dicks. Like they were all like everybody in the town were jerks. So there wasn't an Emily character. There wasn't a little boy or the little girl. It was just like a town full of people like the boy's dad. Just a town full of jerks. And Sheriff Root didn't live in Anvil. He was, I believe he was a county sheriff, who happened to come across Jesse. And Jesse had never met his son before. So there were a lot of things. So I guess we're going to be in Anvil for the season. And I guess he's not going to go on his search for God, which is okay. Because that definitely gives a finite limit. We don't to the series, and we don't know how long they're planning to take this series. But in terms of the characterizations, they were pretty well done. I think that was, in terms of the characters themselves, it was pretty well done. Cassidy does have people coming after him all the time in the comics, but they're people that Cassidy has wronged. So, like, because Cassidy, they haven't explained it in the show, but Cassidy in the comics is about 100 years old. Or he's reaching 100. He's somewhere around 100. And so in that timeline, he's wronged people. I mean, he's a hard partying, drinking, that sort of thing kind of guy. So he has wronged a lot of people during his lifetime. So there's many times in the comic where they'll enter a town, somebody's like, "It's Cassidy!" and they'll like start trying to kill him or something. So, and Cassidy, as far as he knows, is the only vampire. Besides the guy that bit him, I think, Cassidy is the only vampire. So, the only vampire that he knows. So, the fact that they are hunters was a bit of a surprise for me because there aren't any hunters in the comics because nobody really knows about the existence of vampires because we only see like 2 vampires in the entire series, and one of them is Cassidy. So, and yeah, it's weird because Jesse is from Texas, but he's not from Texas. He didn't like grow up in Texas. That's a weird thing. He grew up in Louisiana, but he is from Texas, which is why he has the drawl. But anyway, yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to do this. Then they did the Word of God 100% accurately. That was awesome. The way it was done was absolutely exactly how I expected it to be. Which was like he does like some kind of creepy voice, and then the person goes into a trance and just starts doing it. And as soon as that happened, I was already thinking like, oh shoot! As soon as he said open his heart, I was like, oh my god, I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna go and he's gonna literally open his heart, because that's what the Word of God does. Like, it doesn't decipher what intent or idioms. You literally do exactly what they say. So, so it's this is going to be pretty interesting, I guess. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'll most likely do I'll probably only do a season finale review and reaction. So, all right, what did you guys think of Preacher? I know I'm late, but what did you guys think of it? Are any of you familiar with the comic? I'm a big time Garth Ennis fan. I've read a lot of this stuff. I think the only thing I haven't read was like Generation something, I think it was. But I've read a lot of his other stuff. I've read this. I've read his pretty much his entire run on Punisher, which, if you don't know, that is the basis. Garth Ennis's run on Punisher is the base storyline, the background story for the 2004 Punisher movie with Thomas Jane. So they used his background and all that stuff with all the characters and the timeline and all that stuff, like what happens throughout the movie. That's all pretty much from the Garth Ennis run on Punisher. But a lot of the details were just like completely screwed up. Like the Russian was a white. The Russian that Kevin, and if you don't know, the Russian was the guy that Kevin Nash played. The guy who never said a word, just started throwing Frank Castle all across the place. The Russian was actually a trash talker. As he was beating up Frank, he would trash talk the crap out of him. And I think he gets into a few fights with Frank. And I want to say that time when he's beating him up is the time when he's really upset because Frank has beaten up Daredevil before. And so he starts beating up. As he's beating up Frank, he starts talking about how upset he is that Frank beat up the Daredevil, because he's like the Daredevil fan club president in someplace in Eastern Europe. So, but the Russian's a huge dork, and he's really, really funny. He's a really funny character. But I'm getting off topic here. So yeah, I've read the Garth Ennis run on Punisher. I've read Preacher. I've read The Pro, which is about a hooker that gets superpowers, with a parody of the Justice League in it. And I think I've read a couple other things by him that I can't think of off the top of my head. But yeah, Garth Ennis writes some awesome stuff. Definitely check out his stuff. And yeah, I don't know what else I would need to say about that. But yeah, so what did you guys think of it? Are you planning on watching the show? Are you upset about the differences? Because there were some really heavy differences between the comic and the series. Also, they did a Tyrion on Arseface. I'm sorry, I'm calling his name. His name is I'm sure his name is Assface, but Cassidy gives him that name. I forgot the kid's actual name because they only mention it like when he's first introduced. It might have been Eugene, I don't remember, but he's actually kind of got a really tragic story, and you just kind of feel bad for him throughout the entire series. But so I believe his name is said as Face, but it's spelled the British way, which is Arseface, and that might. I don't know if that's because Cassidy, that's the way Cassidy says it, or if it's because Garth Ennis is Irish. So Garth Ennis is Irish, just so you know. He is Irish. He's from Ireland. So I don't know if that's why it was spelled like that. But so it's spelled Arseface, but it's probably said Assface. I don't know. And they kind of did a Tyrion with him, which is that in the comic, his face is like, it looked like almost like one big giant swirl. Like it's just messed up. And he's like balding in spots and all sorts of stuff. And like he looks so bad that like when pretty much everybody, I think except Jesse, first meets him, they have to vomit. Like the sheriff actually keeps him hidden. He literally keeps him hidden because he's so ashamed of this kid, which is kind of sad because the kid's really nice. He's just like he is in the show. I got to give him credit for. The kid really is just like he is in the show. They captured his personality perfectly, which is that he's really innocent and he's a really nice kid. He's probably like somewhere between 17 and 20. And he's just like a really nice kid. Nobody understands what he's saying. He's always spitting all the time. Like there's even a part in the series when in the comic, there's even a part in the comic where Cassidy just feels so bad for the kid that he's like, dude, so like I don't want you to die a virgin because you're probably gonna die a virgin. So he puts a paper bag over the kid's face and buys a hooker for him. and as he's and it's funny because it's working, and he tells the hooker, look, no matter what you do not take this bag off of this kid's face. So she's like, all right, whatever. So he puts the bag over the kid's face, and the hooker is having sex with Assface. And as he's coming, it's funny because as he's coming, as he's coming, he like the bag falls off. It like falls off his face or falls off his head, and the hooker takes one look at him and starts freaking out. She starts like screaming and like trying to run out the room and everything. But yeah, he really is. He's a really, really nice kid. So they captured that perfectly. The only thing is that they Tyrioned him up. And what I mean by Tyrioned is that in Game of Thrones, if you watch Game of Thrones, during the battle of the Blackwater, during the battle of the Blackwater, he gets scratched in the face by during a sword fight, and in the series, he's just kind of like got this big scar across his face that goes down his face. However, in the book, like half of his face got chopped off. So like not only does he have this like giant scar, he actually has like half a nose and all this stuff. So like what I mean by tearing him up is that, like, R's face does not look as bad as he does in the comics. So I'm thankful for that, because I was afraid I was gonna have to like be like, no, I can't look at it. But yeah, that's one time I'm okay with them Tyrioning a character. So anything else I can think of? I don't know what to think of Tulip. I'll have to see as the series goes on. She is kind of like her comic counterpart, but she has the history is different. I think that's what's throwing me off. The history seems to be different, which is that with their history, he leaves her because of his family. I'm not going to reveal. If you haven't seen Preacher, I don't think they might bring up this part. Depending on how this stuff. No, I can bring this up. Yeah, because clearly it's going to be different, because he's been seeing her throughout the years. But anyway, when they were teenagers, Jesse and Tulip was a thing. Like, they would hang out. They would do like petty crimes and all sorts of stuff. Like, they were in love, and they would do like petty crimes and like maybe like rob a store or something like that. But Jesse has this terrible, terrible family, and he went during one of his runaways with Tulip. They catch him, and then they threaten him not to see her again, or else they will kill her. And he believes them, because they may be some backwater Cajun rednecks, but they are they're crazy, and they were powerful. Like, they do not give an F. So he believes them, and he does not see Tulip for something like 10 years. And they just happen to run across each other. So in the show, it seems like they've kind of seen each other throughout the years, but I don't know how, if his family is why he's decided not to be with her or whatever. And then Her Star. I am looking forward to seeing Her Star. The guy they got looks just like him. From what it looks like, he looks just like him. So I can't wait to see what I don't remember Her Star having hair, but there might be some kind of event where he might either be wearing a wig, or there might be some event where he actually gets his hair chopped off. So, because he might have had hair at the very beginning of the comic, but I don't remember if he did. But I know by the end he does not have hair. He's bald, and that's because there's a specific thing that happens to him while he's bald that makes it very obvious. I'm not going to say what it is, just in case they do it, because that would be awesome if they did. It would be really funny, because Hair Star gets tortured throughout the entire thing, throughout the entire run of this season, or throughout the entire run of the Preacher, of Preacher. So yeah, and like I said, Hair Star was probably one of my favorite characters in the entire story. But yeah. So I am looking forward to seeing this. This looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm going to have to get the second episode so that I can watch that today. And until next time, I will see you guys around later. Peace out. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, etc.